Today we're going to talk about framing your media panel, and what we have here are the top and bottom frames as well as the sides. And the first thing we will do is to assemble the bottom. So we take these two framing pieces, put them together, and they slide directly in to the base of the frame. We take another two, slide them into this side of the frame, and then we will just tighten them slightly, not very much, but just enough to hold them so that they don't slide out. What we'll also do is put in our base piece. It looks like we have to slide that in before we put in the corners. Some frames you can put them in at an angle like that, but this one you have to slide in directly. We put our corner back in, and we'll tighten it back up. So this is actually how this one's going to stand. Unlike other frames that we've used with magnets, this one is freestanding. So we put on each of the sides. Turn this around. Undo this. Okay. And tighten it up again a little bit. Just enough so the frame is held in place. So the next step is to put the media panel inside the frame, and we do that from the top down. So we'll put our media panel frame aside for a second, and we'll get our LCD panel. And what we've done with our LCD panel is we have cut a hole so that the LVDS cable can pass through. Everything else will be able to go under it, and so now what we do, we take our mounting board like this, and we thread our LVDS cable through the hole that we've created. And we take this, looks like we'll have to take that under our control, but we'll slide this through, and now we have to reattach the LVDS cable to the LCD panel. So we take this device and very carefully reattach. So first we line up the connectors and very gently push this back into place. Okay. So now our panel is reconnected. So the first thing we do before we put our mounting board over it is we take some electrical tape. And what we want to do is prevent this cable from coming detached for some reason that we're not expecting, but we want to make sure that it doesn't move. So on the back of the LCD panel, we put a piece of electrical tape right over the cable just to keep it in place and so it doesn't come out. Now we'll slide our mounting board, and you notice it's exactly the same size as the LCD panel, so we slide it into place, and it covers the LCD panel, and we've also made a notch down here for the cable to come out for our inverter. So what we're ready to do now is slide our LCD panel into our frame. And so we take the LCD panel below, so once you have slid the panel into the frame, and unfortunately my video camera ran out of space and so you didn't get to see me do this, but you slide it in forward like this. Then what you want to do is prepare the frame top by putting in the corner pieces and then sliding the top of the frame onto the panel like this. Finally, we can tighten this down on each of the corners, just making sure that the corner is keeping close together. And finally we can tighten the screws on the stand so we'll be able to stand it up by itself. On the inverter I took and put a couple of pieces of black electrical tape just to hold the inverter in place and to reduce the number of moving parts we have on the back of the panel. And then to secure the panel inside the frame, we have under each of the corners put one of these spring pieces. So we have one over here, we have one under here, one under here, and one under here. So that keeps everything well together. Now we'll pick up our frame. It stands by itself. And we'll take our power cord, connect that into our LCD panel, or the control panel, and then we will get our Raspberry Pi. And we take the Raspberry Pi, connect our HDMI cable, connect our USB cables, and connect power. And we should have done everything right, and let's see if it boots up. We have the RaspBMC screen. That's great news. And in just a moment, we should see the XBMC screen. Another RaspBMC. Everything looks like it's going just fine. Here's XBMC. And we're done.